Welcome to another episode of the Dating is Hard podcast. I'm your host, Joe Welke. For everything you need to know about this show, you can go to datingishardcomedy.com, follow the Instagram at datingishardcomedy, and you can follow me on Instagram at Joe Welke. If you could please subscribe, rate, review, give this show 5 stars, give it a good review, that'd be awesome. If you could tell your friends about the show, that'd be even awesomer. And if you're not enjoying the show, keep that shit to yourself. Nobody needs to know. Just die with that information. Thank you. So sorry about last week, everybody. I did not have time to record an episode solo or with anyone. I was moving. If you've listened to this podcast, the last couple episodes at least, you'd know that my roommate, Atif Myers, he moved in with his girlfriend and we used to live together. So I had to find a new place for myself. So I'm all set up in my new place, new little podcasting studio setup. I'm jazzed about it. It looks awesome. I'm pumped to get people in here once the quarantine shit ends, or maybe even before then. Get some more buddies in here. Who knows? All I know is I'm fucking sick of doing this shit solo. I only did it once, and I'm already like, fuck. I gotta keep doing this solo. But luckily, by the way, this is going to be another solo episode. Don't know if it's going to be super long, but because what's going to happen today is I'm opening up the mailbag, baby. I am answering, responding to, checking out some of the emails that you guys sent in based on my podcast, commenting on previous episodes, asking for advice, etc. So this will be the first version of that. I'm about, 50 episodes into this show. I think it'd be a good time to see what people are thinking about it, see if people wanted to ask me for any advice or anything. By the way, if you want to send in questions, you can send in questions or comments to datingishardcomedy@gmail.com or head over to datingishardcomedy.com and there's a contact page that you can fill out and send me your emails. And then I'll see if I can answer the questions, see if I can give my spin on things on the podcast. So yeah, nice little interactive thing going on. And here we go. So the first email that I am going to be checking out here is based on my last episode of my podcast, the one where I talk about how I went on a date with the Miss America contestant. Wow, what fucking... the Miss America lady. This person emailed in response to that episode and said, Joe, I enjoy your podcast for the raw honesty and it helps me cultivate gratitude that I am not dating in LA. Yes, you should absolutely be happy that you're not doing that. It's fucking crazy, especially if you live in Texas now. I feel like Texas is like opening everything up. They don't care about the coronavirus anymore. And here in LA, everyone's still kind of paranoid about it unless you're protesting. And then you're doing it for a good cause. You're not socially distancing for a good cause. So here we go. Let's get into this email. In regards to the last episode, it's obvious you're still emotionally attached about Jessica, the Miss America lady. The truth is that Eric, the D-bag comedian, could be an angel in disguise who prevented you from getting involved with a hot mess express. You don't know her. You are heavily projecting on her because of the physical. She originally ghosted you, then lied and played fake that she didn't. Yikes. If she really dug you, wild horses wouldn't have kept her from at least going out on a second date. It's time to let this fantasy go because this projection isn't real. Clearing up your space to do that will allow the real to enter, for real. Thanks for that email. That's the end of it. I can agree and I can understand a little bit about what this lady's saying. I don't think that I'm emotionally attached to the Miss America lady at all. It's been like over a year And the main reason why I did that episode is because I wanted to tell one of my stories and also kind of, you know, take up a lot of time. I didn't know how long that story was going to be, but I knew that I wanted to give people, a typical podcast episode length. All of my podcasts are usually around an hour. Most of the time, they're a little bit more. So I wanted to share that story, and it's a long, crazy story, I feel. And yeah, so I don't know about the emotionally attached thing, but I could see where she's coming from about how, you know, she originally ghosted me and then faked that she didn't. And if she actually was into me, wild horses wouldn't have kept her. That's a very, I feel like that's an antiquated phrase. So I agree with this lady that wrote in on that. That is probably true. And she said I'm heavily projecting because of the physical, which could also be true. There's the whole thing called the halo effect where, you see an attractive person and you think that they're a better person than they are just because they're attractive, and you give them the benefit of the doubt and all this stuff. So there's probably a little bit of the halo effect going on there. But also, I thought that our date was really fucking rad. But yeah, it's also complicated. The comedy world is so weird. I know a lot of female comedians that don't date other comedians because they're worried about stuff like this happening, where comedians are gossiping and talking about all the shit that they do. So I could totally understand that. But yeah, I'm not emotionally attached about her. Eric, the other guy, she describes him as a d-bag comedian. That guy is definitely a d-bag. He could be an angel in disguise who prevented me from getting involved with a hot mess, but definitely a d-bag. You hit the nail on the head with that one. Yeah. Hopefully and I quote, real enters soon, or whenever we're back from quarantine. And who knows, man? I don't know. I've just been kind of, yeah. It's getting fucking to be a dark place in the world, man. I kind of had like a fucking breakdown the other night just because, this year has fucking sucked. This for everybody, for me, for loads of people. This is just like a crazy time. We've been dealing with curfews in LA that were implemented about 45 minutes before. So we'd get a text message at 3:15 that our curfew started at 4, so we didn't have time to go anywhere or check out anything or get groceries, or I'm working from home luckily, which is nice, but I don't know, there's not a lot of room for people to be going out and dating. I don't know, if I'm not on the dating apps right now for guests for the show, but I'd be curious to see who's on there actually trying to date, because we've been quarantined and told to social distance since like the middle of March. And yeah, there are still people paranoid about it. There's still some people that are worried about going out, but restaurants and stores are starting to open up out here. So I think it's only a matter of time before people want to start going out on dates again and checking out the dating scene once again. So yeah, a little aside there. Thanks for writing in, commenting on that last episode. Yeah, you got some good points. You got some valid points. I agree with you on some of them. Yeah, most of them actually, probably 90%. All right, let's go to this other email. All right, this says, let's read it. You guys are going to hear a fucking how bad I am at reading. And this is a long ass email too. You're about to get a fucking taste of what it's like to be Joe Welke reading out loud. Okay, here we go. Dear Joe, I'm not sure if I should have a friendship breakup with my good and dear friend from college. He and I had sex twice in college. The first time was awful, which made me all gung-ho about having sex again to redeem my... Oh, wow, this is a woman writing in. She's admitting that she was bad I guess, which is very rare. I think that women tend to think that if something's bad in the bedroom, it's all the guy's fault. Just from personal experience. That makes me think. That makes me sound like I don't think that I'm never at fault. No, I'm definitely at fault sometimes. Sometimes people just don't connect. But anyway, here we go. The first time was awful, which made me all gung ho about having sex again to redeem myself. I like to think that I am good in the bedroom, and my pride drove me to have sex with him again. About 4 years ago, we started talking again. Typically, we talk for about 2 to 3 hours on the phone, which happens roughly once every month or every other month. But the quarantine but with the quarantine, it has happened more often. Okay. Whew, that's weird. Dude, I don't talk to anybody on the phone for 2 to 3 hours. I don't know who are these guys that can just talk on the phone for hours and hours and hours? Like, especially during the quarantine. She's saying it happened more often during the quarantine. Dude, there's fucking nothing to talk about. For 2 hours? Dude, I talk on the phone with my mom and dad at the beginning of quarantine when everything started. We would talk on the phone for like an hour, and then it'd be like, okay, cool. But then after like 4 or 5 phone calls, it was just like 15 minutes long because we all know that nothing's going on. We're not doing anything. There's nothing to do. So being able to talk on the phone for 2 to 3 hours is fucking crazy. Okay, here, get back into the email. At first, when we started talking again, I wondered if I should just give up dating and move to where he is and just marry him and give up all my dreams. Wow. Well, don't fucking do that. I realized that is not what I want, and that I just see him as a friend, a best friend, but only a friend. As of late, it seems like he wants to be more than just friends. At the beginning, he always made a point to apologize to me when we talked. He would bring up the past and say that he was sorry that he wronged me. He did this because he would hear about dating stories and guys who hurt me, and he feared that he is a jerk that hurt me. I made it clear to him that I understood we were hooking up in college, and at that time, it was not going to work out with us. Another time we talked, he got upset with me that I had not invited him to go with me to my friend's wedding in Jamaica. Well, that's a fucking very big ask, you know? Just being like very, I don't know. You don't invite yourself to things, you know? How can you be pissed that you didn't? And also, Jamaica's fucking far. You have to pay for a trip to Jamaica? Fuck that. I told him that it would have been weird because we would have to share the same bed. And he said, "Why would that be weird?" Oh, cue awkward nervous noise from me. He then says, "Oh well, now it is weird. It shouldn't be though." Oh boy. We would cuddle together. He even came all the way out to where I lived during the pandemic for his birthday to see and celebrate with his brother who lives in the same city as me, and he hoped that I was going to see him. I knew he wasn't taking all the precautions against COVID-19, so I wasn't comfortable seeing him. That makes sense. You know, this guy, I guess he flew to where you live, and you know, that was the big things, like airports. You're in contact with a lot of people with coronavirus potentially, so it makes sense that you wouldn't be too comfortable seeing him. But now when we talk on the phone, he guilt trips me about not. Oh, fuck that, dude. Fuck that. This is a weird time. This pandemic. There are still people that fucking don't want to go out and do shit, and you know, you don't. Yeah. Now he feels the only way I can make it up to him is by visiting him in Kentucky. He keeps saying, "Come visit me. We could cuddle." And when it got worse, he started asking when I was going to come visit him. He also knows that I'm currently talking to a few guys and how I feel about them. The final thing that made me think this friendship has gone too far was when complaining about being old. Friendship has gone too far was when I was complaining about being old. He said, "No, you're not old. You're young. I could put a baby in you." Oh, God. Cue awkward pause followed by awkward noise and asking about his family to change the subject. Smart move. Am I reading the signs right? Does my friend want more? Absolutely. Your friend totally wants more. Dude, no one ever says we can cuddle and then end up cuddling. You know, I had that happen a while ago where somebody was like, we were just hanging out, and then she was like, you know what, I just haven't been cuddled in a long time. Can we just cuddle? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then we're cuddling, and then she turns over, and her fucking face is right in my face. And then she's like, well, do you mind if we can kiss a little bit? And I was like, I mean, yeah, if you want to kiss, that's cool. So then we started making out, and then she started to like put her hand under my shirt and started to feel me up, and then I just stopped her and I was like, look, you wanted this to just be cuddling. um I understood that. This is what we like, the intention was just cuddling. If you want this to go further than that, it is on you now, because I'm not going to make a move on you. You know what I mean? And then it ended up being like, oh, I said that I just wanted to cuddle, and now you're trying to like have sex with me or something. It's like, no, dude, I'm not fucking trying to do that. This is on you. If you want it to go that route, that's on you. I'm happy to go that route. But yeah, if you want that to happen, then you're gonna have to make it happen. Okay. Does my friend want more? Yes. Should I try to save our friendship and just tell him that I'm not sexually attracted to him at all? Or should I end the friendship? Okay. Well, your friend definitely wants more. I don't know if the friendship is savable. I don't think it's going to be savable until this guy has another girl that he's crazy about or that he's hooking up with or something. Um, yeah, this is tricky because if you really do value this person as like a best friend, then yeah. Well, he lives in Kentucky. I'm assuming that you live pretty far away from Kentucky. Because I don't think that it said where you live. No. But yeah, if he's in Kentucky and it's far away from where you are, who gives a fuck? You know, you're not going to see that guy again anyway. You didn't ask him to go to your friend's wedding. When he was here, you didn't see him. So, yeah, I think it'd be hard to save the friendship uh, unless he starts seeing another person. That's just my take on that. That's what I think. Until then, he's just going to keep pressuring you and trying to get you to go to Kentucky or send nudes or something or whatever. He's going to make another trip to wherever you live and then be like, how come you didn't come hang out with me? I'm here again. And then you're going to be like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, it's just never going to end until he find somebody else. So unfortunately, I think that this might be a real friendship on hold type of deal. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's where I'm at with that. Okay. Let's see this other email. Okay, I got another email here. Dear Joe, how do I know when it is safe to meet the guy I have been dating from a distance? We've had 2 Zoom dates and had one date where we stayed 6 feet apart as we hiked. I guess we have technically met in person already, but I guess I'm wondering how much time has to pass until I can trust that he's careful. Is this something that I have to just blindly trust? I guess I have been thinking about it a lot because I just want to kiss the guy. The first kiss is one of my favorite parts about dating a new person, and also helps me understand if it is time to call it quits or to fire the engines. But with quarantine, that's changed things a lot, and I mean, we are dating, and he could be dating other people and maybe getting closer to them too. The more I type, the more silly I feel, but then again, I'd rather be silly and healthy than foolish and sick. Well, that's a good point. To be honest, I want more than just a kiss from this guy, but it has to be a good kiss first before I can think about going all the way. But man, quarantine has caused my libido to skyrocket, and homegirl is looking for some afternoon delight. So how many dates does it take to get to, oh God. So how many dates does it take to get, ugh, sorry. So how many dates does it take for me to get to his Tootsie Pop? Okay. That's interesting. I don't know, man. I haven't really been. Oh, these are good questions. I think that if you've already met this person in person, uh, you're good to go. You know, I think it's time to quote, and I'm quoting you here, fire the engines. Uh, because, like you said, you don't know if he's seeing people other than you, and maybe those people are a bit more loose with the quarantine rules. But if COVID-19 is your main worry, like if you're in contact with a lot, here's the thing. It's situational. I don't know what your situation is. Like if you work with a lot of old people, I would say fuck no, don't go out with this guy, because if he does even has the slightest inkling or hint of coronavirus COVID-19 stuff going on, and then you go to work and you have it and you don't know it, and then you spread it to old people, and then a bunch of these old people are dying. Fuck no. If you're doing that, no. But if you're, let's say you're working from home or you're unemployed and you're just like chilling at home, I think that's a little different. Also, it depends on what this guy does. If this guy works with old people, or if this guy's like a nurse or something, I'd say no. But if this guy's working from home, if you're both working from home or unemployed, not going out all the time, I would say that you're good to go. You know, my thought process in terms of quarantine dating is after that initial first month where everybody was just staying home, everyone was scared, paranoid as shit to go outside and even go to the grocery store. I would say absolutely not. Do not do that. But now, since everybody's been staying home, avoiding crowds unless you're protesting, I think that it's good, you know? I think that it's safe to meet up with people. My thought process was, if you've been in your apartment for a month and I've been in my apartment for a month and I get in my car, drive to your apartment where you've been quarantined, we're not just going to make coronavirus happen just by being together. Like, you have to be in contact with people. And if you haven't been doing anything this whole time, yeah, I think that that's fine. I remember reading the face of this whole quarantine stuff, Dr. Anthony Fauci. I think I saw a quote from him that said, if you want to risk going on a Tinder date, by all means, go for it if you feel like the risk is worth it. So I'm just going to tell you what Dr. Anthony Fauci said. If you feel like the risk is worth it, go for it. But if you're thinking that, if you, like you said, you'd rather be silly and healthy than foolish and sick. If you think that it's foolish to do that, then don't do it. But I think that if everybody's quarantined, like I would have to get more information about what you do and what this guy does. Because if this guy is like working in the public and he's around a lot of people all the time, yeah, I wouldn't feel too comfortable about that. But if you're staying home, I think that's fine. But again, if you get sick, you can't sue me. Don't do that. Don't do that. There we go. That's the answer to that question. Let's go. Let's see if I got another one. Here we go. All right. This is okay. Here we go. Opening this new email. Here we go. I've said "here we go" like 6 times in the last 20 seconds. Jesus Christ, Joe, get it together. Is a bad habit enough to end a relationship? The guy I'm seeing is great except for one bad habit. He smokes copious amounts of pot. Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I do drink, but I have a glass or two and then take breaks from it. It's not something I absolutely need to relax, but I can tell that this is different for the guy I'm seeing when it comes to his pot consumption. He has to smoke every night. After we have dinner, he smokes. After we have sex, he smokes. After a rough day of work, he smokes. And after we fight, he smokes. I feel like he's a smoker and not a pothead. I also feel like once he gets high, that it's difficult to have a conversation with him. He is suddenly in a fog and becomes a complete and total robot. When we first started dating, I thought it wasn't as big of a thing, but now that we have been quarantining together, I've noticed it a lot more. I thought it was going to be less because I had told him that dependency on a substance is a big issue for me because I have family members that have trouble with addiction. I have seen how it changes people, and I have seen how it can change people. And now I feel like I have started to see a different person with him. But maybe I'm projecting my own issues with my family onto him, but I can't ignore the shift I feel from before he smokes and after. Should I try to have a serious conversation about this? Is it worth talking about? I feel like I'm asking him to change, and I don't want to be that kind of girlfriend. Is this issue a deal breaker, or am I making a bigger deal than it is? Okay. You definitely need to have a serious conversation about this. If this is really taking a toll on your relationship and it's making you question whether you want to be with him and if it's a deal breaker, and if you're writing into my fucking podcast about this, you definitely should be asking this guy about it. I think it is worth talking about if it's bothering you, and if you think that there's like a definite change in the person after he's smoking or whatever. Yeah, that's a bit concerning, and you can't have. It says that it's difficult to have a conversation with him after he's smoking, so you can't even bring it up to him like in a healthy way, because if he's always smoking, as it says, then who knows when that conversation could happen. You know, I think that this does need to be a conversation, because if it's affecting the relationship, you feel, then it's definitely something that needs to be brought up. But don't be like, hey, fucking stop smoking, you goddamn pothead. You have to like do this gingerly, because it seems like pot's a big thing. But I don't think that you feel like you're asking him to change, and you don't want to be that kind of girlfriend. Well, if he sees how it's affecting you, I mean, if he smokes every once in a while, and that doesn't bother you, then that maybe you could kind of point him in the direction of that and see like, hey, this is affecting how I feel about us, and I feel like you're a different person when you're smoking. If you're cool with him just smoking every once in a while and just, taking a load off, then I would tell you to go down that route, whatever. But if you bring it up and he's like, no, I just smoke, I'm going to keep smoking or whatever, then I think that you might have to end things with the dude, because if that's who he is and you're not enjoying who he is, then that's going to be a problem. And if you keep dating this person and seeing having this issue, that's not going to be good. It's eventually going to end up boiling over, and then you're going to, I don't know. You just have to be ginger, take it gingerly, bring it up smoothly as you can, because, yeah, like I said, I've told this story on the podcast in previous episodes. I've had a lot of people talk about how at the beginning of the relationship, they're like, hey, if you ever have an issue, just bring it up to me. I'm an open book. You can tell me anything, blah, 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 blah. And then when you have an issue and you bring it up to them, then they get all defensive and they're like, well, what the fuck? That's just who I am, blah, 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 and I'm not changing. That's rough, and that's one of the main reasons why I got out of my last relationship, is because I was dating a lady that was like that. That was like, yeah, I'm an open book. Let me know if you have any problems. And then when I'd bring up a problem, be like, hey, could you change that? It was all, oh, well, then if you don't like that, then you can just dump me, because that's who I am. It's like, okay, then I'm dumping you. And then that was like a whole thing. So, yeah, you definitely need to talk to this person about the weed smoke, if it's affecting you and if it's affecting how you see the guy that you're dating. Yeah. All right. Next email. Boom. Dude, this is fucking great. These are some good Some good questions. I'm enjoying this. We should fucking remember, email questions in at what's the email? God damn it. I don't even know the goddamn email. Dating is so stupid. Datingishardcomedy@gmail.com, or you can go to datingishardcomedy.com, go to the contact page and send in your relationship questions or comments that you'd like to have read on the show, if anything. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. This is a sexy one. Okay. Hey, Joe. Does giving a guy a sexy surprise make me a desperate slut or a fun, spontaneous girl who a guy will want to keep seeing? The second one, definitely. The second one. Well, you have to do it right. Let me finish reading this email. I'm going with the second one. It makes you a fun, spontaneous girl the guy will want to keep seeing. But you have to do it right. I'll talk about that later. Okay, getting back to the email. Let me guess. You're wondering what the surprise is. Well, I guess I have to tell you to be able to get your feedback if it is desperate or fun. Yeah, okay. The idea is that I will seduce him and get down to business. Okay. I plan to wear this maxi sundress that has high leg slits and a tied back. When he lets me into his place, I would give him a big hug and press my body hard against his. As I walk into his apartment, I would pull the strings of my tie-back dress and begin to slip it off of my body. I'd look over my shoulder at him and then slightly bend over as I slip the dress over my booty and let it fall to the floor. I'd be naked except for my high heels, and I'd look at him again with a come and get me look and walk to his bedroom. Now, is this a fun, sexy surprise or a desperate one? Is it a good idea to do all of it without saying a word? Also, if I do this and he likes it and wants to keep seeing me, will he expect me to do this kind of stuff more often? All in all, is this a good idea or a bad idea? Okay, here's the thing. It depends on the situation you're in. Let's say that your plan is to do this sexy surprise because you guys have been on the rocks or something and you've been having a lot of relationship issues, you've been fighting a bunch, and you're doing this to, make the guy forget about the relationship issues. In that case, I say that is not a good idea. If you're doing this to try and save the relationship or something, and you're like, oh, we've been fighting a lot, but maybe if I just do this sexy surprise for the guy, it'll make him forget, and then we'll all be good, and blah blah blah. That's terrible. That's a bad idea. I've had women that I've dated when we're having a lot of problems just start to do sexual things, and if you even do have sex, the problems are still gonna be there after the fucking's done. Just because let's say just because you did a sexy surprise doesn't mean that the guy's not gonna be pissed off at that you fucking cheated on him with his best friend or something. But if this is just the relationship is going good, but you just don't feel like the dude is as sexually aroused around you anymore, I think this is an excellent idea. This is a great idea, and it could spark something and be like, oh yeah, that's fucking hot as shit. But is it a good idea to do all of it without saying a word? Yeah. This is a thing that I brought up in my podcast previously. If you're going to do something like this, you need to commit hard to it. You need to be in a character, because if you're I dated a girl that she did these sexy surprises like this. One time she came to my apartment and she was wearing a trench coat and she was wearing nothing underneath of it except for this extremely sexy lingerie, and that sounds amazingly hot and sexy, right? The problem is when I answered the door, she opened the trench coat and went, "Do me," just like that, like a little kid, "Do me," and that kind of takes you out of it, That's Yeah. So if you're going to do this, you need to commit hard to it. And I don't know if that means that you should do it all without saying a word or what, or if it's just like, hey, come here or something. You have to, but you have to keep it sexy. Um, if you're a goofball generally or something, you need to put on like a character. You're not your goofball self right now. You are a sexy version of yourself. So whatever that, say your name is Amber or something. You're not Amber, the person that works at fucking a bank and loves anime and Rick and Morty or some shit. You're sexy Amber who comes to an apartment wearing nothing underneath of a maxi dress, and you slip it off and you just bend over and show that booty off. That's who you are. And if that means that you can't talk while you're being sexy like this, then don't talk. But if you can say something sexy or whatever, yeah, then you can say something. I think a lot of women don't understand, or not women, but a lot of people in general don't understand. You guys need to remember, I'm coming from this from the perspective of a straight guy, and those are all of my experiences. I don't know what the experiences are for women um, with guys trying to be sexy. But if you're a woman trying to be sexy, I know from my experience that you really need to commit to that. And yeah. Um, Also, if I do this and he likes it and wants to keep seeing me, will he expect me to do this kind of stuff more often? I don't think so. I think that this is a good idea. All in all, is this a good idea or a bad idea? I think it's a good idea. I don't think that he'd expect you to do it more often, but now that you've opened the door to that, and he does mention that like he really enjoyed that, then that could be something that you would do whenever you feel like you need it to happen. That's your discretion. If again like the libido starts going off and you're not having as much of a fulfilling sex life, then yeah, then you can bust out the maxi dress again. Um, but then if you do it like every day, then it loses its specialness. So you need to do it as often as you feel like a sexy surprise is needed. Um, yeah, like there's like even in terms of just general sex, there are some times where some amounts of foreplay aren't needed. Like there's some positions that you don't do every time. So it's really just whatever. Sometimes when you have sex with somebody, there's a lot of foreplay involved, and then it's all lovey and romantic, and you're really taking care of each other and like looking into each other's eyes and really like passionate. And then there's other times where you just fuck like rabid animals. And yeah, I feel like there are three different levels of sex. This is my thing. There's love making, which is what I was talking about earlier, where there's like you're really taking care of the person and you're really into them. You you do the look into the eyes and it's really passionate and kissy and lovely and awesome. That is love making. There is having sex, which is just your standard kind of, we're dick and vagina kind of shit. Like nothing is over the top romantic. Nothing is over the top, kissy and passionate. It's just like we're having sex and it's awesome because having sex is awesome. Then there's the third one, which is fucking. And fucking is when you're just fucking, you're at a bar or something, or a restaurant or a concert, and then you take your person into the bathroom and you just fuck in the bathroom. I don't think anyone would say that you made love in the bathroom of a fucking concert or something. Yeah. So those are my three levels of sex. And this email is definitely about fucking. It seems like you gotta fuck, and then it's hard and it's fucking ugh. You know what I mean? I think that sound sums it up, It's very ugh. Yeah, so that's that email. And yeah, that was a good one. That was a good email. Let's see if I got see what I got other one. Let me read. I haven't I should have read through these. Fuck. Okay, let me read another one. Oh, 40 minutes. Okay. We're doing pretty good here. All right, let's read a couple more and then we'll see what we're doing here. Okay. Okay, is my girlfriend trying to get me to tell her I love her? We've been dating for 2 months. I don't want to say it too soon, but I'm madly in love with this woman. She's literally the girl I've looked for my whole life. She sent me 2 texts saying the same thing recently. I really like you, followed by a heart sign. Uh oh. When she got in my truck a few days ago, she turned it to her phone and played almost every song about love. Oh, dude, I get worried about that. You know how like when you have sex with somebody, a lot of times you'll put on music. I always am worried that I'm putting on music that's too lovey-dovey, and then the person will be like, "Oh, is this person in love with me?" And it's like just somebody that I met fucking a week ago. Oh fuck. All right, so she turned her phone and played almost every song about love. Then, when we got to her place, she wanted to make me a cup of coffee, and she held up the cup and said, "Is this cup okay?" It said, "I love you" on it. Oh, jeez, this girl's fucking going hard. She said, "I was the first guy in a long time she's let meet her parents. She shows me off to all her friends, remembers everything about me, and the list goes on. Is 2 months too soon to confess your love? Because she invited me over tonight and I've been dying to tell her my true feelings." Oh, well, sorry I didn't answer this sooner. Fuck. Well, if you're in love with her and she's throwing you all the signs that she wants you to say it, then what's the big deal? I think that you should go for it because everyone's always concerned about who's going to be the first to say I love you, but when you know, you should just say it. And especially if she's throwing up these signs like that, yeah, she's definitely, I don't know. I think it's hinted at that she's kind of saying that she loves you too, based on all the stuff that she is doing for you and telling you. And yeah, I think that you should just go for it. You should definitely tell her that you love her. And I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen? This is the worst that's gonna happen. I had a woman that I was going out with in college. This was right before I moved to New York, and me and this girl, we went out. We had great times together, and it was awesome. Uh, and right before I moved to New York, she came to my house, and she was like, "I just wanted to let you know that I love you." And at that time, I didn't feel the same way. And that was so crushing to hear and to have to be like, "Oh my God, that's so awesome. That's so great that you feel that way. I'm just not there right now." And I'm very happy and flattered that you have told me that, but I'm just not there yet. And I've had it on the other end. My first college girlfriend, I told her that I loved her, and she did the same thing to me. She was like, "That's really awesome. I'm glad that you're there. I'm just not there yet." So if you tell this girl that you love her and she's not there yet, um, it's not a big deal. It doesn't mean that you have to break up with her or something, but it is a weird power dynamic at that point because it's kind of like you're showing your cards. There's like a popular fucking what like a pickup artist type of dude that I have seen a couple of his videos from watching what is it? Your Mom's House Tom Segura's podcast. And his opinion is that the woman should always be the first to say "I love you" because uh, if you say "I love you" first to a woman, that that makes you weak in her eyes, and something like that. It makes you weak in her eyes, and she's already got what she wants, which is love, and she doesn't respect you anymore or something. And I say that's fucking bullshit, dude. If you feel like you love this person and you feel that she's feeling the same way, even if she's not, you have to take that risk. You know, you can't just wait around forever and it's been 2 months. Yeah, if you know, you know, man. If you know, I've told people that I love them, like maybe like 1 month, maybe less, because, that's just how I felt, you know? And you can't fucking deny your feelings. So yeah, I would say that you should tell her that you love her if you do love her. And it seems like she loves you too. So that seems like it's going to end up well. All right. Ooh, let's do one more. Here we go. Let's see. All right. I exposed my ex-boyfriend to his friends. Am I wrong for doing that? My boyfriend cheated on me. There's fireworks going on outside. Yo, fucking North Hollywood is wild, bro. Okay, back to the email. I exposed my ex-boyfriend to his friends. Am I wrong for this? My boyfriend cheated on me. The girl sent me a screenshot of him asking the girl to come ride his cock. Ooh, that's very graphic. I just knew he would lie to his friends about it. When he cheated the last time, he told his friends I left because I was mad at him liking photos of Instagram models, which was nowhere near true. It was because I left because he deleted messages with a girl and lied to say she messaged first, and he let them down when in reality he messaged her something provocative first. Yeah, dude. I mean, if he cheated before, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm worried about that because I've cheated on girlfriends, multiple, not happy to admit it. And I'm worried that if I ever get into another relationship, they say once a cheater, always a cheater. I'm worried about that, about myself. Okay, so I created a private story with only friends and his friends, and posted the screenshots the girl sent me when he asked the girl to come bounce on his cock. Am I wrong? Am I in the wrong for this? I can't let him get away with it and make up some story that makes me look crazy again, especially because he cheated on our anniversary while I was laying in bed beside him. Yeah, dude, that's not good. That's really not good. Here's my thing. If he cheated on you and that's how you're feeling about it, just fucking break up with him. You don't need to go this whole fucking rigmarole of exposing him to his friends. Here's my thing. Just dump him. Just break up with this person if it's really bugging you that he cheated, which obviously it is. Just break up with him. You don't. And then if his friends say that, here's the fucking plan. Break up with him, keep the screenshots, and if his friends start to talk to you like, hey, I heard that you fucking were crazy and that's why he broke up with you or something, say, oh yeah, and then show them the screenshots then. Don't just go ahead willy-nilly. I understand that, the revenge would feel fucking awesome. That's great. But, yeah, you'll feel better just dumping him and moving on with your life, as opposed to exposing him to all of his friends. Like, I don't know. My favorite comedian, Bill Burr, he has this saying that if you walk away from a difficult situation kicking yourself because you feel like you could have done like a more assholey thing, just know that you did the right thing. So I think that doing the right thing here is just dumping him. Keep the screenshots so if they start to talk shit about you or something, then you have evidence that it's not on you, that he was cheating on you again. But yeah, I don't think that exposing him to his friends is really necessary. And I don't think that his friends, if they see that, he cheated on you, I don't think they're really going to care. Like, when I cheated on my girlfriend, and I told like a tiff about it, or other people found out about it, I didn't lose those friends, so it's not like that guy's gonna lose anything with you exposing him. So yeah, I say you just dump him and move on. That's that's where I'm at with that one. And then, yeah, if they start to act like you're a crazy person, then you fucking, boom, here's the evidence, baby. And that'll do it. That was a good fucking episode. I really enjoyed this. This is great. Please send in some more emails, guys. This is great stuff. I feel like, yeah, there's some good questions, some good comments on the show. I'd like to do this more often. So send your emails in to datingishardcomedy@gmail.com. You can go to datingishardcomedy.com and go to the contact page to send in emails. Please subscribe, rate, review this podcast. I'm really thankful for the people that are listening and the comments that we got, the questions that I got on here. It's awesome to have people checking in and asking for advice. I am obviously not like a qualified relationship coach or anything, but I've worked in the dating industry for a while. I was a dating writer for a long time. I have this podcast. I have the live show. I think I know what I'm talking about. I've also been in the field for a long time. So, yeah, man, thanks a lot for writing in, guys. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate that, and thanks for all the reviews that I've gotten so far on the Apple Podcast. They've all, for the most part, been very positive, which is awesome to see. I really enjoy that. That's so cool. Let me see what's going on here. Let's see what the rating and reviewing stuff we got going on here is. Let's see. Let's go to the fucking... Let's browse here. My keyboard isn't working. Fuck. Son of a bitch. Oh well. Whatever. We'll figure it out later. Thanks for reviewing. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for listening. Thanks for emailing. And yeah, I hope that you guys are staying safe and being cool and, get out there and protest like you're fucking everybody should be. The fucked up world that we're living in, man, it's just driving me fucking crazy. It's making me sad. It's making me sick to my stomach. Hopefully some good change will come about this, and we'll all be in better places. And yeah, so that's that for this episode, guys. Hopefully maybe next time I'll have a guest. If you want to be on the podcast, fucking slide in these DMs, baby, or email me or something. I don't know. I haven't figured out how to do a good Zoom recording. I always find that those are terrible. There's something about being in person that just makes it so much better. So if you're willing to risk coming on over to the new apartment, see the new digs, you can check out my new apartment. Let me know if you got my phone number. Text me, slide my DMs on Instagram @JoeElke, @DatingIsHardComedy, and we'll set something up. And until next time, later!